Welcome to the Wolf Talk podcast. We're here for another episode. This episode's brought us to the home of boxing in Birmingham, Kennelly's Gym. We've got a great guest today, one of the most decorated athletes in his field, 4 times world champion, Big Pod, Dan Podmore. Thanks for coming on the show, Dan.
No problem.
For taking time out. I know you've got an upcoming fight this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got defending the Bridgeweight World title on Saturday in Cardiff. Just having a few last little preparations and then it's time to go.
How's your training camp gone?
It's been amazing, to be fair. It's been absolutely top notch. I've had no injuries, no nothing. It's gone the best it possibly could have. So I'm feeling the best I possibly could to going into the fight.
Not asking you to give away game plans, but have you been working on any specifics?
Oh, yeah, we've been working on a lot of specifics, to be fair. Me and Mike know a way to beat his style, Eastern European style, so that's what we've been working on. I think I'm going to be coming in too big, too strong, too explosive, and I think as soon as I put my hands on him, he's getting put away.
How long's this camp been for?
So I'm constantly at the gym anyway. We've been working 10, 12 weeks now, but we've been sort of dialing in for our main opponent, this opponent now, for about 4 to 6 weeks, I think it was. Because it was at the start, I was trying to get an opponent. I was struggling to get one because no one wanted to fight. And obviously the first to fight was supposed to be in America, but obviously I've had a couple of visa issues where we're going to have to go down to the embassy and sort those out. But if I got put back in to Cardiff 2 weeks later, and we still get to fight. We still get to earn that money. So.
Why do you think people have been not wanting to fight you, avoiding you?
Possibly. It's I've had a couple of guys from the company saying that they want to fight. After the last show in Royal Wolves, it could have been a prime opportunity to call me out after his fight, but then he saw my fight beforehand when I quite handedly took care of Ryan Barrett, and in quite devastating fashion. They heard me in the pads on the back as well, and all you heard was like gunshots going off, pop, 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 and everyone was like turning around, and everyone was like, whoa, what's going on? And everyone was just like, So yeah, I think he wants to possibly come fight for my belt, but I don't think he actually wants to fight me for it.
Yeah.
I'm a problem for anyone on any given day, so it's it's a bit of a difficult one.
4 world titles. What are all them titles?
Yeah, I've had 4 world titles. I've had the heavyweight BKB heavyweight world title. I've won the cruiserweight world title, BKB cruiserweight world title, the old BKB. I've won that twice. I was the last person to hold it. And then I've won the Bridgeweight world title, the diamond belt. I've got that now. I've also had 2 Police Gazette UK belts, first man in 141 years to hold 2 belts consecutive in 2 different weight classes, and obviously a British title leading up to that as well. So I've collected about 7 belts.
Trophy cabinet's full then.
Absolutely.
Where did it all come from? What made you get into all of this? Where did it start?
I think obviously I grew up in Bartley Green. It's not far from here. I got quite bullied when I was young. I was made to fight. So I think that's just where it all stemmed from. And then it come to the point where I couldn't stand no more. So I fucking flipped a lead and fucking clattered everyone.
Was that at a young age?
Yeah, I was probably about 6, 7, 8 years old, something like that. And
bullshit.
Yeah, I used to like hang around with all like the older lot. So there was about 15, 16. And they used to purposely wind me up. And then the one day I just walked into the garden, got a rake, and fucking absolutely beat the shit out of them. So and then they didn't do it again then, you know what I mean? So, but then from that day, I thought, you know what? Everybody wants to try it, they're going to get it, you know what I mean? So and that's just how it is. And then I just
So to start with, it was more street fighting.
Yeah. But then I've obviously been in and out of boxing gyms and stuff. Believe it or not, I've never actually been shown how to box until I've come to this gym.
How long have you been there now working the mic?
It's been a year now.
What made you come to this gym?
I said I was down at Fitness Factory before this. I'd already won a couple of titles down there. It got me in the best position I could have been in. You know, it got me fit and fight ready, and but yeah, I needed more technical ability and technical knowledge. You know what I mean? So I had to come and find and seek out from Mike. So.
Do you think he's brought more technical ability to your game?
Absolutely. I've won with two world titles in my two last fights, so must be working. Like I said, I was on the back of a couple of losses down at Fitness Factory, so I was thinking maybe that my career was coming to an end. Changed it up a bit, and we're feeling brand new again.
Great. When you said you was in the boxing gym from a young age. Was it dedicated or just flickering in and out?
No, it was creeping in and out. You know, I'd go in there and I'd smash a bag. And then I got told to basically to piss off the one time, saying, "No, I can't come in the bag and smash the bags the way, you know, it wasn't like a playground and this, that, and the rest." I said, "Well, I'm just trying to hit the bag." You know what I mean? No one showed me how to hit the bag. I mean, I got asked to leave. So,
what sort of age was that at?
I was probably about 12, 13. But yeah, so it all got like put to bed for a little bit. Then I got back into doing MMA and jiu-jitsu and
3 MMA fights.
Yeah, this was all later on though. Obviously, when I trained fucking MMA, it was when UTC was first opened in Erdington.
Yeah,
I used to train with some of the country's best, like Vaughan Lee and Leon Edwards, Yannick Bahati, Ed Hansen. You know what I mean? I used to train with one of my good friends, Sean Kelly, as well. We used to all train there, and we used to all be in there like 3-4 hours at a time, like back-to-back classes every night. So I got quite good, quite fast. Did that for years. Then I ruptured my bicep. So I was mixing in between weights and the fighting sort of thing, and I ended up fucking ripping my bicep off. So yeah, that stopped that. But when that rehabbed, I found it more readily available to go get back into the boxing, and that was wanting to pay. You know what I mean? So I thought, well, yeah, I'll have a go with that instead now. So yeah,
they found there's more money within the boxing than
there's more money in the boxing at the minute. Yeah, there is with the MMA. Yeah, even though I've probably been paid quite a bit more for standalone fights for MMA on a couple shows actually. Yeah, when I was doing all the fighting.
What organisation did you had 3 pro fights, wasn't it?
I had one for Battle Arena, which is quite big, kind of biggest in Europe. I can't remember the others, to be honest. One was in Liverpool. Where I'd had an MMA fight. I got out the ring, went back, collapsed on the floor, knackered. He says, "Oh, can you jump back in and do a kickboxing fight?" I was like, "How much you paying me?" I said, "Go on then." So I went in there again and got me took off with someone that could kickbox. So yeah, but, I had a couple of MMA. Obviously, it's not really my forte. You know what I mean? I used to train it. You know what I mean? I'd happily take one, knowing that the knowledge that I know from back then. But yeah, it's not for me, MMA really. I'm more of a stand-up fighter. So
what is it you prefer? Just standing and trading?
Yeah, well, just like boxing, it's like the sweet science. You know what I mean? It's like hit and not get hit. You know what I mean? So I used to do like Thai and that when I was young as well. I had a really good Thai coach, Simon Aston. We had like a big class at the gym, at the UTC gym, and no one would actually like partner up with me. So I always had to partner up with the coach. So then it was just, I'd have him beating 7 shades of shit out of me for the session, you know what I mean? So, which only made me better, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I get that, yeah. Coming up, did you get any grief on the streets? A lot of grief, or in school?
Yeah, I think because I was quite bullied when I was young, I come up with like a little bad attitude, and I was a bit of a naughty one when I was a kid. So I went down the wrong path and stuff, and it was got myself into trouble with the police and trouble with my parents and this, that, and the other, and so, but that all come to a halt. And I realised, there was more to life.
What made you realise that?
I said I had a really bad motorbike accident when I was 20.
Right.
So up until that point, I'd had like a chip on my shoulder. I was the type of person that, if I'd walking down the road and someone knew me, they'd cross the street to stay away from me, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I had a really bad motorcycle accident when I was 20. I broke my back in 3 places. Nearly tore my shoulder clean off. I cracked my sternum, put a hole in my face. It was quite a bad one.
What I can understand, but what was the recovery?
I had a lot of time to reflect, to be fair. So I was a lot of lying down. I was in hospital for quite a while, which could have sent anyone fucking mental.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Left to your own thoughts for that long,
especially when the doctors were telling me that I was never going to walk again. I was like, no. So you can't tell me that. So, but then the one day I got up out of bed, started to walk. I was like, yeah, walking like Bambi. Then he said, right, you're never going to be able to go to the gym. You're never going to be able to box. I was like, you're joking. No, he said, you can't tell me that. So I've made it my mission to actually take myself back to the gym. So when I'm in the gym, I had like really major like nerve damage in my right arm. So every time I'd go to the gym, I'd have to like pick my arm up, put it on the gym equipment. So I'd be pushing the gym equipment, but then this arm would be like useless, but I'd just keep it moving. And obviously one side of my body kept on getting a bit bigger than the other, man. But it started to work. It started to bring my arm back to life. Took about 2 years. My arm was dead. It's like this for about 2 years.
What gave you that drive to want to be back in there?
It's just, I think that's just a person I am. I've got like a no quit attitude, you know what I mean? So if you're going to tell me that I can't do something, I'm going to...
It's the challenge then.
I'm going to do my best to prove you wrong, sort of thing, yeah. So I just kept at it. And the arm started to strengthen up, you know what I mean? And then I started to lift it, you know what I mean? And then I got it to so high, and I could feel something was blocking it, because I had like plates and that put in. So I had the plates taken out, and then it just went, I would say back to normal. I said I've always had probably about 75% in my right arm now. And it's just like getting progressively worse. I've got like major arthritis. Obviously, it's bone on bone. Obviously, when I've had the crash and stuff. So even before I've started my fight career, I've always been at a disadvantage, having, say, 1.5 arms. So just begs to think like, what would have happened if I actually started my fight career with 2 good arms instead of...
Do you use that to drive you on there as like the underdog?
Oh yeah, obviously, like, I'm beating, some of the country's best, the world's best. I mean, like I said, I'm at a disadvantage, and I'm still beating them quite handedly. I'm still knocking people out with something that's not as strong as it used to be.
That's the credit to you.
Yeah. So.
How long after that accident was it before you started actually boxing training again? It's got
to be a fair few years. I think I didn't start boxing until I was probably late 20s. It's been about 6-7 years. Yeah. I started to get back in. I got back into some sort of good shape though. Got my arms as strong as I possibly could. And then I started boxing again. and that was only on the basis that my brother-in-law was fighting on a charity event, and they needed someone last replacement to fill in to fight this Polish guy. He was a kickboxing champion, but he'd obviously done a charity boxing fight, and no one would fight him. She said, "Dad, would you come down and would you fight him?" I said, "Yeah, I'll have a go. Fuck it." And when I did 2 training sessions with him, went to the fight and absolutely hammered the guy. So
2 trainings.
yeah.
Mental,
So yeah, well, that's sort of like kicked off my boxing career then.
And what was it to start with? Gloved boxing? Or?
Yeah, it was ultra white collar boxing. You know the charity ones where you fight for train for 8 weeks, and did a few of them, and I thought, right, I need to be paid now. This is I'm giving these money to charity, and I used to sell a lot of tickets. You know what I mean? So, but then I thought, well, I want some of this. You know what I mean? If I'm giving all this money to charity, it's my turn now. So I thought, yeah. So I started to for fights, and I used to get paid. So, but then I used to fight like every 3 months. Sell tickets, and I think I got to about 30 fights, and I won the majority of them, and then nobody wanted to fight.
Was that all gloved fights?
Yeah, it was all like gloved. So no one wanted to fight. So I bumped into one of my pals. He says, "Well, if you're willing to lose a few, so I guarantee your phone will go non-stop. People trying to get you on the shows." So I said, "Okay, cool." So I did that, and then the phone just like non-stop rang every week. It was 4 or 5 times a week. Someone on the phone. "Dan, can you come down to this place? Dan, can you come here? Dan, can you fight on my show? I know you're fighting there, but you come here after." So I was fighting 5 times a week.
Oh dear.
I've had 250 plus glove fights. So so I got the majority of my experience just being on the road trying to earn a bit of money.
Just grinding it out.
Yeah. So, and that's basically that's how I obviously knew how to fight, but I sort of like taught myself to box out the way, sort of thing. So, you'd see something on the TV, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to try that tonight. Or I'd see someone in the gym going, and I'd be like, right, I'm going to have a go at that actually. And that's how I was like progressed my skills. And then the better gyms that I was visiting, the more knowledge I was picking up from other people, not from someone teaching me. It was just me picking it up myself.
Watching and learning.
Just watching and learning.
I don't think you're ever too old to learn in boxing, are you?
Like I say, you're never too old to do anything. Age is just a number. Like I said, it's on how you truly feel in your mind. Your mind will lie, your body will lie to you. You know what I mean? It's you're more capable of doing what you think you are. You know what I mean? It's like I said, I'm proven fact. So the one I'm never going to walk in. You know what I mean? So I walked. So like I said, if I'm all for trying to do the impossible. I like to challenge myself. Yeah, and that's just how I am.
Where did the bare knuckle side come into it?
It was like I say, it was last minute. People would phone me up, and then I think one of the BKB promoters got hold of my number saying that I was available to do like jobs and stuff like that, and I fight last minute, and he phoned me up saying, "Oh, do you want to fight?" But yeah, the fight I was supposed to fight on BKB 4. But I ended up doing a job a week before, and I went down to Gillingham and ended up breaking my leg in a fight. I was having a bit of a scrap with this one guy, and I caught like a little nick on my eyebrow. So I was told the ref, I said, "Listen, I've got a bare knuckle next week, so you're gonna have to call this fight." You know what I mean? And then probably like a round or two later, I'm still there in the fight. So I thought, shit, I'm gonna have to end it myself here. So I fucking took a dig, and I threw myself back. Fucking obviously take a dive, and snapped my leg.
That was even more time out then.
Absolutely, yeah. So then that was 8 weeks out then. I didn't fight bare knuckle on the BKB, but I got a lot pressured into fighting like a local bare knuckle show I was like, oh, please, you do it. I can't find nobody else. I was like, oh, look, I'm not trained. I've just come back off a broken leg. I said, but, says, go on then. Ended up fucking doing the geezer. So which then led on to me getting another shot with the BKB. Yeah, but back then I was fat and unfit, and I was didn't really care.
How long in to the BKB was it before you was getting total shots?
Well, I started my career in 2017. I had a couple of fights. And then in 2019, I was on holiday in Turkey. I was having a piss up with the lads. I come back and I got a phone call off the promoter saying, can you come out? We're down in London. I need a fighter, a great fighter. I said, who's it against? So it's Josh Burns. I was like, oh, this guy's total contender. He's knocking everybody out. And I was like, oh, God. So I said, how much you paying me? He's told me how much he's paying me. I was like, oh, go on then. I said, I've just wasted loads of money over here, so this will get me some back. He says, but I'll tell you what, like, if you last 3 rounds, if you last a round, I'll give you 200 quid more. If you beat him, I'll give you another 200 quid. So I was like, oh, it's extra incentive for money. Because I was thinking, I'll go down there and take a few digs and I'll fucking take the money and I'll run. But then when I got down there, so when I get into a fight like that, it's hard for me because if I feel like I'm winning that fight, then I'm going to go and fucking win it. You know what I mean? So, and then when I was fighting this guy, this Josh Burns, he dropped me in the first. And then I thought, right, now he's giving me his best shots now. Now it's my turn. And I ended up stopping him in the 3rd round. So that sort of like changed my whole perception on my career then. I was like, if I can come off a plane straight to the venue after 2 weeks on the piss without no training, and I've beat one of the top guys, so what could I do if I'd actually trained? So I started training then. We were supposed to be having a 4-man tournament, but then COVID struck. Fights got cancelled and this, that, and everything. But then the BKB put a lockdown show on, which then they said, we're going to have you fight one of the guys in the tournament, but you're going to put a British title on the line. I was like, fair enough. So I ended up going down and spanking another guy for the British title, and then fought on another lockdown show and defended it. So then the only way forward then was for a world title. So I fought for a world title then, and I was supposed to fight a guy called Dorian Darch for it, but I had a grade 2 strain in my lat, so I couldn't fucking throw a jab or nothing like that. So, and that's the first time I've ever pulled out of a fight ever, and it wasn't me that pulled it; it was my coach at the time. But he went in against a journeyman, and he lost. So this journeyman ended up becoming the world champ. So then I went to face him after, absolutely annihilated him. So so I won the world title.
It's getting a lot bigger now, the bare knuckle. It's getting a lot more publicity, a lot more faces. I know not in your organisation, but you've got obviously Conor McGregor fronting other organisations.
Yeah, we've had a fair few famous faces in our organisation. Got like Malvin Gillard, used to fight for UFC, and Shoney Carter, Julian Lane. We've had a fair few guys in our sort of organisation. Brad Pickett. We're nothing not as big as them over there. Obviously, Americans like to do everything bigger and better, don't they? And that's why everyone's so eager to get over to America. Because it's the chasing that American dream. But when you got the backing of like Conor McGregor and Triller, things are going to be big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you're building things up from the bottom, and you're still hanging in with these top guys, You know what I mean? He speaks for volumes, doesn't it? It's
I think
like,
it can only be good though for the sport itself as a whole.
absolutely.
Can't it?
So with this, I think we get getting little bits of like TV coverage here, there, and everywhere. So I think it's just the base now, just capturing one good TV deal, and then it's the BKB and the BYB sort of thing. It's just gonna take off. You know what I mean? That's where everyone's money will go up, and you know what I mean. It's going to be better.
I still find a big stigma out there though about bare knuckle, and quite a large stigma of it still being glorified violence.
Well, it is purest version of pugilism, isn't it? It's the purest form of violence. But this is what people don't know. It was gloved. It was bare knuckle boxing before it was gloved, and the only reason why they brought gloves into it was to make the rounds go longer, so there wasn't getting as much damage. Now, what they're finding now is that the gloves are actually probably more dangerous than a bare knuckle fight. Because you're taking more damage. You're able to take more punishment in a 12-round fight than you would in a bare knuckle fight.
Yeah.
So they're saying that now gloved fights are more dangerous than bare knuckle. Obviously, the bare knuckle thing is you got like the aesthetic looks, and you got the cuts and the grazes and the broken bones and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You can have cuts and breaks, but with glove box, you don't know what you're doing internally into the brain and stuff. So now I think bare knuckles finally pop back up and it's coming back out again. I think this is going to take back over. You know what I mean? People want blood. People want gore. You know what I mean?
They do. You watch like the UFC and people are doing the ground game.
Exactly.
They would just want to see that stand-up fight.
Yeah. So this is the purest form of fucking violence, isn't it? It's just like that's what everybody wants to see.
I think even with the violent side of it, there's still an art to it.
Of course, it is. It's still boxing. You know what I mean? It's you want to hit and don't be hit. You know what I mean? So you got different styles. You know what I mean? I
think people need to educate themselves a bit on it.
Absolutely. Like I said, it was bare knuckle before it was gloved. That's how boxing started. So, yeah, man.
So, you're all ready for this fight Saturday? What's your plans for the rest of the week?
Like I say, it's just a week full of technical now. Stretching, mobility, making sure that we're fit and supple, agile for the night. Make sure we're not overcooking it. I mean, all the hard work's done. We just went over to Spain and did some hard graft in Spain. I need to get away and dial in, you know what I mean? So that's what we've done. We've got 18 sessions in 16 days. I mean 6 days, sorry. So yeah, that was 3 a day for 6 days. And
grueling in the heat.
Absolutely. It's but it served its purpose, and we got out from it what we needed to. So we come back and I'm in tremendous shape. So this guy's I think I'm very underestimated as a champion. Very underrated. I fly under the radar. You know what I mean? People don't really know. You know what I mean? It's that I've won multi world titles at different weights. You know what I mean? My name hasn't got such like stature like a Barry Jones or a Jimmy Sweeney or an LT Nelson or Marco, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I've won, like I say, multi world titles in different weight classes. So I think.
How come you don't think your name's picked up? And
because I'm not a loudmouth. You know what I mean? I let my fist do the talking. I don't talk my way into fights. I don't do any of that. Maybe I should. If I think my career could possibly take off a bit more, maybe I should. But I'm just not that person.
You think that makes you more dangerous though by being overlooked?
I think I'm a bit of an unknown factor. You know what I mean? It's people like to look at my old fights and then think, yeah, I'll beat him. But then they don't actually know what's going on since. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're watching me fights white collar fucking years ago, and I'm losing fights on purpose. and they're looking at that saying, yeah, I can beat him. But then they come in and then they get the shock of their lives when I'm quite skilled, you know what I mean? So, but any given day, I could beat any of these people twice a day if I wanted to, you know what I mean? So it's a bit of a different one. But like I said, I think we're getting there now. I'm not really a social media type of guy, though. You know what I mean? It's I don't like to parade on Instagram or whatever. I give away a 25-year Facebook because I don't know if I just deleted it. You know what I mean? I did 25 years. So I'm not really a social media type of guy, but I know that I need it for
You got to have some
for the fighting. Yeah, so
haven't you?
exactly. So if I didn't fight, I wouldn't have social media. So
what's the plan then? How many years do you think you've got left in the game?
Well, like I said, now I've come to Canellis, I feel like I've got a new lease of life. I feel like, you know, I've got a bit more longevity in the sport. I've been doing it since 2017. What are we now? 2025. So how many years is that? 7, 8 years.
Don't ask me maths this early.
7, 8 years, that is. I've been doing it that long already. So it's there isn't a longevity in bare knuckle boxing, obviously, because people like, you know, take a lot of damage and stuff like that. I've not took a lot of damage. I've had a few in the last few fights where I was, you know, on the decline sort of thing, and I was, you know, when I was losing, caught a couple of shots and got opened up and stuff like that. But I'm still feeling good. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm progressing again and I'm learning again, and I'm on a good little tear again. So,
like you said earlier, age is just a number, isn't it?
Exactly. I feel amazing. So
that day when it comes, when you think that's enough, what's your plan after that? Coaching, sail off into the sunset?
We've got a lot of work lined up. Me and Mike. Things going on in the background, which I won't mention just yet. Obviously, you know, Mike goes over to Saudi and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a possibility of some stuff happening. We've got a lot of good things in the pipeline, so
that's good.
It's whatever gets me a house paid off first. You know what I mean? So if it keeps fighting or something else, you know what I mean? Then if I get that, and that's the end goal, that's my end goal.
Yeah.
If I get that, what's the purpose? What's the need to fight anymore? You know what I mean? So.
And for anyone wanting to tune in on Saturday, where can they watch the fight?
Well, they can find it on TalkSport YouTube channel, stream live, 5 o'clock Saturday. Vice TV, you can watch it. I shouldn't say this, but it is on the Dodgy Box as well, on the pay-per-view events. It will be on there. But it also, obviously, you can obviously pay for it as well. It's
the tickets left for it, are there?
Yeah, I've got a few tickets left. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't really supposed to be selling tickets. I was supposed to be fighting in America, but I've got tickets available if anybody needs.
How can people get tickets off you if they want them?
Just drop me a message on Instagram, or if you have my number or whatever, just get in contact. Get in contact with the gym. The tickets are here, so.
And we'll give you a last question of the day.
Go on.
What's your prediction?
A win from me in spectacular fashion.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to be. I want to thank you anyway for taking time. I know you've got a busy schedule.
No problem. It's
to do this.
It's all good.
Anybody wanting to go to the fight, hit Dan up. He's got some tickets left. If you can't make it to the fight, make sure you tune in and watch it.
Absolutely.
Get ready for some fireworks.
Absolutely. The shows, like I said, the shows in Cardiff, mate, there's something else, you know what I mean? It's the atmosphere down there. I don't mind fighting on my home shows and stuff like that because I take a lot of people, and it's the atmosphere is amazing. You know, the best time I had was when I won the first world title in London. I took about 200 people down there. It was electric. But I tell you now, it's nothing on the Cardiff shows. It makes like the hair on the back of your neck stand up. You know what I mean? They're quite passionate. So I can't wait to fight down there. So I can't wait for Saturday.
Well, all the best, and I hope it goes to plan. And thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. Nice one.